Hello, Team Revolution. My name is Miameesha, and I am an executive team leader, 200-point customer champion, and I am so excited to be able today to share with you exactly how I achieved the 200-point customer milestone. And so first, just a little bit about myself. I saw this business not too long ago, and when I did, I was incredibly busy. I still am incredibly busy, but I was running my own photography studio. I was traveling. I had 4 children. And to be quite honest, the last thing that I actually wanted was one more thing on my plate. But what I absolutely understood and knew about myself and my life was that there was never enough time and there was never enough money for me to do everything that I wanted to do and everything that I needed to do. And so when I saw ACN, it just seemed like a perfect answer to what it was that I didn't even know that I was looking for. So I got started right away, the same day that I saw the actual presentation. And since then, I have been on such an amazing journey, plugged into such an incredible system and mentorship. And what again, I'm going to talk to you today about is just how I actually got to 200. I'm hoping that this message resonates with anyone, whether or not you are new. I'm hoping that you'll be able to get something from my journey, or whether you're kind of similar to me, you've been in for a little bit and you've achieved some milestones. Maybe you achieved some and then lost it, achieved it again and then lost it, kind of did that whole back and forth. And one day I just decided that, you know what? I get customers all the time is literally what I said. What do I need to do to make sure that I get customers all the time? Why am I hanging out? Why am I playing this hanging game, right? And so in doing so, the first thing that I did was totally sold out to this mission that we as Team Revolution have in terms of feeding 2 million children. I believe that as a team, we're going to do it. And I'm going, well, what's going to be your role? What are you going to do to be a part of that mission? And I decided to start it with myself. So I'm going to talk to you about my journey again to 200, and just a really quick story to kind of frame my thought process. You know, I had this personal trainer before, true story. I had this personal trainer and he said, Miameesha, what I want you to do is run the entire football field. I want you to sprint full speed down the football field. And I'm thinking, the entire football field, sprint full speed. Okay, I'm a great listener. I'll do so, right? And after a couple of times of me sprinting this football field back and forth, he says, hey, listen, you know, I noticed that every time you get close to the end zone, you slow down. So what I want you to do is not look at the end zone. I want you to look at that fence that was about 20 yards past the end zone. And he said, I want you to sprint to the fence, not the end zone. And I'm thinking, what? He just added another 20 yards, but okay. But what I saw and what he saw was that I didn't slow down when I was going to my target. And so I'm thinking about that story and thinking about my journey to 200. And so what I'm going to do now is just share with you exactly what I did. So here we go. So journey to 200 and beyond. I like to have fun with that 200 and beyond, because why get to 200 and stop, right? So the first thing I did was, again, made a decision. Why am I hanging out? I felt like this kid throwing money out the window. I have these customers, but you know, when I actually looked at what I was earning, I'm thinking, why are you not earning 20%? You're just throwing money. If 20% is there and available for me, why would I accept anything less? So I decided, hey, we're not accepting less than 20%. Let's go. So the first thing that I did was, where am I? And this process happened in May, at the end of May. I was incredibly busy, had a lot going on, but again, I decided I am going to not hang out any longer. So I just found out what was my number. At that time, my number was 122, okay? And mind you, I had been already as high as about 164 and experienced purging customers, right? So I said, all right, I'm at 122. Here's where I am. What do I need? Where am I going? I'm actually going past 200. So in my mind, my thought was 220 was where I was going to go. So I gave myself just a timeline. I'm going to do this by the end of June, and I'm going to set my schedule. And I set it. I decided what time I was going to actually be working on customer acquisition every single day until I acquired. I decided I wasn't going to stop until it happened, right? And so I get to share with you my cool hacks, I like to say, that what I use to get myself from 122 to past 200 in it took me about 3 weeks to do it. So the first thing that I did was hack number one. There is an amazing fortune in your PCO, your personal customer list. So the first thing that I did was said, well, where did the customers go that I had, right? Where the ones who purged off, where are they? So I looked at my entire purge list and decided I'm going to start there and I'm going to get them back. Right? I'm going to get someone is coming back to me. Right? And so I literally just picked up the phone and started calling people. And I initially started with ID Seal because I figured that's an easy get back. Right? Hey, and this is what I did. Hey, John, listen, oh my God, you are no longer covered. Let's get that straightened out for you today. And John either said, oh yeah, no, I'm just, not right now. Or, oh my gosh, you know what? I changed my bank card and I forgot to do ID Seal. So guess what? From that whole process of calling people, I ended up getting 28 points from customers who had purged off. And they were 28 points in ID Seal, people who agreed to get back on. I not only got that, but I also had someone update to annual, and I also had someone whose child had turned 18 and they decided to get them their individual account and gave them an annual account. So from all of that, that was like 40 points for me, that just from looking at customers who had purged and just from ID Seal. So then I also had an ID Seal customer who wasn't interested in ID Seal, but said, hey, you know what? We need Vivint though. Do you still have Vivint? Absolutely. I'll take that too. So guess what I did? I set it up so that he could get Vivint. This is, again, someone off of my purge list. I had after going through my purge list, trying to see who was going to help me, I also looked at current customers to see how else could I serve them. How else could I add value? They already said yes to me. Maybe they would say yes again on something else that maybe they didn't know about, or whatever the case was. But I started looking at new customers and current customers, and guess what? I ended up getting 2 more Vivint's and gas and electric. So there I am again. That's 16, that's 18 more points in my customer, in just people who had purged and people who were currently my customers. There was 18 more points for me. And I use, when I'm talking to these people, guys, remember, like, use your script, use the script that we have. I, again, was completely sold out in feeding 2 million kids. So I'm imploring that to them. Listen, I personally want to feed 100 kids every month. So can you help me? Can you do me a huge favor and be a part of what I'm doing? And, again, I ended up going through that process. That was 48 more points. That was 48 points that I ended up getting. The next thing that I decided to do was go back into people who I had presented the business to, because there is a fortune in your past list. So I pulled out my list, went back to my list of people who had already seen the business but just said, well, no, this is not for me. Again, use the script again. to ask them for help. And guess what happened? I ended up getting another Vivint. So listen, my intention for me, I'm thinking, how do I get there fast? What has the most points? Because I want to get to 200. I did not want to go another month. I was not going into July not getting 20, not getting 20%. I didn't even want to be at 199. I needed to be past 200. So now I'm thinking, all right, anyone who said it's not for me. So again, I got another alarm system, another Vivint. I ended up getting someone who I asked her, well, how about your daughter? Your daughter just turned 19. Is she covered? Does she have some type of protection for herself? You should do that for her because it's important, right? So I had a mom who signed up her daughter and then said, well, wait a minute, I need to sign myself up. Absolutely, you do. You see what I did? And so guess what? She then ended up signing up herself and her daughter for identity theft protection. Absolutely amazing. The next thing that I did was, again, with that mindset of how do I get customers all the time? If I get customers all the time, then I need to create partnerships because I can't get customers all the time by myself. I want customers when I'm asleep too, right? And so how do I do that? I started thinking about who can I serve on a consistent basis? Whose referral network can I become a part of? First thing, obviously you guys have heard this, I know before, but realtors are automatically a direct avenue to customers. So I looked at, again, all of my realtor friends who had saw the business and said it's not for me, and maybe they became my customer. But now I'm thinking, well, listen, how can I help you? And at the time, as they always do, Vivint always has some type of special going on. So I started the conversation by sharing the special with them. Hey, Vivint is having buy one camera, get one camera free. Or Vivint, at one of the specials was the customer would get $200. The next one was buy one camera, get one free. Like whatever it was, I just started sending it to them and saying, hey, please let me know if I could serve any of your clients, right? And so when I got a referral, they said, hey, I do have someone. I had a realtor say I had someone, and I said, amazing. I will take great care of them. And of course, I was going to take great care of them and use my resources with Vivint to make that happen. And now, on a regular basis, I ended the conversations, not ended, but I kept the door open with all of my friends saying, hey, is it okay if I continue to let you know when there are specials happening? Yeah, absolutely. Great. So now every time there's one, I literally sit and take the time and reach out to all of the realtors that's on my list to let them know, here's what's happening, here's what's happening, here's what's happening, right? It's amazing. So now just from all of that, that all got me to over 200 points. And again, I had partnerships. I used my customer list. I used my past list, and it got me there. And I did not speak to one new person at all in order to get me from 122 to right now I'm at 206. I didn't talk to any new people. They were all people that I already had a conversation with. They were already my customers, but I just kind of felt like these are low-hanging fruit. Let me see who I can get and what services I can use to get there fast so that I'm getting the 20% as I'm continuing to acquire more customers. So listen, at the end of the day, we have 2 million kids to feed, and we will go out hunting. We will do this as a team. We will do this as a pack because you can't do it alone. And the question is just, where are you going to be? How are you going to fit in order for us to feed these 2 million children? So again, I am Miameesha. I'm so excited to have been able to share with you how I got to 200 and beyond. And listen, blessings and freedom to all of you.